there? Mom? Dad? Hello?
Not to worry, dear, not to worry. It's just me.
Grandma?
I didn't mean to wake you. Were you dreaming, my sweet?
No, I can't sleep. I'm scared of the dark.
Oh, my child. The dark is nothing to fear. You are merely afraid of what might be. What you cannot see,
I guess so.
I know so. I've been around long enough to know that, wouldn't you say? That's right. Would you like me to help? I can spin a story for you, and you'll be fast asleep before you know it.
Okay.
Okay. Let me tell you the story of the prince and the dragon. Does that sound nice?
Are dragons real?
Oh my, the things that are real in this world. Let's just say there are plenty of things to actually fear. But this story, this is a happy one. Now, shut your eyes and listen to my tale. Once upon a time, there was a young and ambitious prince. He came from a very wealthy royal family. Why, so wealthy that they could afford anything they wanted. They bought the young prince everything he could ever desire. And yet, he was always left longing for more. You see, child, money and wealth is only desirable until one has it. The human appetite is repulsive, and nobody illustrated that fact more than our young prince. He ached for what he could not have. He pined for riches that not even his royal family could provide. He wanted a dragon, a live dragon from the caves of Colossus. The kingdom knew of dragons, but only a few had ever claimed to have seen one. And even they were labeled liars and heathens, shunned from the town, laughed at, but the boy's temper was ferocious, and he drove his servants and his parents mad. When the boy turned 12, his cries became so loud that nobody in the entire kingdom could sleep. None of the villagers knew peace. He would pound on his walls and scream into canyons demanding his dragon. Finally, the king and queen gave in to the boy and composed a team of knights, mages, and advisors to see if they could satiate the young prince's hunger. 4 months they journeyed, searching caves, mountains, and valleys, but found nothing. There was no dragon for this boy. How could there be? Dragons themselves were known for their hoarding and greed, but this boy surpassed the thirstiest of wicked serpents. As the boy's 13th birthday neared, the team his parents had constructed returned, forlorn, and confessed that the boy's demands were an impossibility. Enraged, the young prince turned cold, calling for the death of them all. His shrieks pierced the veil of every window in his castle, so loud and offensive that the very stone walls which housed them began to crumble. It seemed as though these noble, well-meaning servants of the kingdom would meet an untimely and undeserved end. It was only at the very last moment of patience that an old, frail woman, much like myself, sauntered through the town. She claimed to be a witch. She said even from her distant shack she could hear the boy's wails. It was she who promised the ability to fetch the boy the dragon he so deeply desired. Stunned, the king and queen asked what they might do to compensate her for this grand effort.
My only request, my highness, is that this be the very last demand of your boy. You must promise that if you receive this gift, you will ask for no more, that you hush your spoiled tongue, and that you accept whatever consequences should come should you violate the terms of this agreement. Do we have a deal?
The boy was eager and wide-eyed. Perhaps he had agreed so quickly due to hubris, perhaps boredom, but no sooner did the witch extend her wrinkled, wart-covered hand that he shook it with the best of his might. With a slow, intentional gait, the witch limped off, and not 3 days later did she return, seemingly empty-handed.
And where is it? Where is my dragon witch?
Greedy boys should bite their tongue, lest they eat their own words.
And with that, she snapped her greasy fingers and the sky went black. A magnificent, gigantic beast blocked out the sun with the flex of its wingspan. The entire kingdom stepped from their huts and looked toward the sky to see the very creature that had eluded the prince for so long.
A dragon?
Hush, child. Yes, a dragon. The prince finally had everything he ever wanted. But you know what they say. Money cannot buy happiness, and neither can dragons. But not the very next day did the child try and mount this wild beast, and when it threw him off, he howled in embarrassment and rage. He'd become frustrated, bored, too lazy to try and tame the beast he demanded.
What is the point of a dragon if I can't even ride it?
He told his parrots to dispose of the reptilian beast, but no man, woman, or child could get close enough to wrangle it. The monster ran wild in the royal farmland, laying waste to animals, villagers, and servants alike. This only enraged the young prince even more, who had now claimed ownership of this glorious dragon for over a week. Finally, he could not contain his insolence any longer, and he began to scream and cry once again.
But the witch said...
Child, one more outburst and I will exit your room, lock the door, and leave you for the monsters under your bed. Do you understand? It took no longer than a few hours before the witch returned. In the dead of night, when no one was around to see. Yet, this witch was not the same frail, old, decrepit lady who we had seen before. She stood nearly a foot taller, her bones filled with fat and muscle, and her once pale skin was full of hue and life. Her eyes held fire in them, only seen by those who had dared to cross the path of the sniveling, ungrateful prince. The king and queen, well, had been expecting the witch. After all, it was they who had initially invited her to solve the problems for their wretched child. And they had a deal that the witch took very seriously. The time to negotiate had come and gone. The witch had brought the prince a dragon, and in return the prince had scoffed at her, disrespected her, betrayed their agreement. As such, the rules of their settlement had been breached, and the witch thought fitting to take penance for her wasted time. She began with the king and queen. She slunk into their shared bedroom to find them fat, naked, and in a deep slumber. Because it was the child who had made the deal, she was gracious with his parents and quickly stole their life force with a flick of her wrist. You may think it cruel, but this was a kindness. For what she had in store for the prince was a punishment much more fitting for his crime. She next moved through the guards' quarters, then the servants, the cooks, the cleaners, the caretakers, all of them. They meant nothing to the prince and therefore meant nothing to the witch. The prince had to learn that only when he realized he had nothing could he have appreciated once having everything. And so it was. Every pet, every toy, every item the prince could fancy his own was turned to ash and dust by the witch's touch. And then, at long last, she came for the prince. The young prince was awake when she came to his room, fitting, as he had defied all other rules, orders, and commands that others had offered him. The prince, cocky as ever, welcomed the witch in as a friend. Foolish boy. Even in the moments preceding his death, the prince remained defiant and bullheaded. So the witch took her time. She sat him down, consoled him, soothed his ever-aching demands. And then she reminded them of her deal. She asked him how, even in the moment where he was given everything he ever wanted, how could he be so petulant, so demanding? And do you know what the prince said? After all of this, he looked confused. He could not understand that he had done anything wrong in the first place. He could only see through his own thin, flattened perspective. And it was in that final moment of confused stammering that the witch made good on her promise. She stretched his mouth wide and slid her rusted fingers down his throat. She found the base of his tongue and severed it with her crooked nails, plucked it from betwixt his teeth. When the boy's eyes widened, she took them too, one at a time, with her heinous claws. Even now, stripped of everything, his piercing cries persisted, and so she buried her arm down his throat and stole his lungs, squeezed them, squished them, molded them like soft clay in her hands. And then, finally, she allowed him to expire, and all was right with the kingdom. The witch slinked off into her shack, satisfied, vindicated. The end.
Grandma, I don't think I like that story.
Oh, you didn't? And why not?
I don't know. I didn't like the witch. She was mean. She hurt people.
Only people who agreed to be hurt, my lovely. Witches are very fair.
But he was just a boy.
And so are you not? But you didn't ask any questions about receiving that new kidney you needed so badly.
What?
It's all you wanted, wasn't it? You prayed and prayed and prayed to your imaginary god for one. You never thought about all the other people who had been on the list first, did you? When your parents bribed the doctors, when those other children died so you could live. And what have you done since? Nothing but scream and thrash. Ungrateful. A sniveling brat is what you are. It's all you've ever been.
I didn't.
No, you did not. You didn't think for 1 minute about anyone but yourself. And I didn't mind that. Your cries were filthy nails on a dried chalkboard in my realm. So I came to you. I agreed to give you what you wanted more than anything else. The thing no others could ever hope to have. And you simply took it and asked for more. What a waste.
You're not my grandma.
No, child. Now, open wide.